This thing working? Sounds like it. Here we go. No, I did not fall asleep. Good to see you. How is everybody? Oh, what up? What up? What up? Good to see everybody. Good to be here. Give me a one if you can hear me. Yeah. What up? It's good to see you. Good morning or good evening or good whatever it is for you. I know it's late. What is it? Five past midnight, November 28th. 2021. Good to see everybody. Good to be here. How are you doing? Come on in, have a seat. Be good. Everybody be good. Everybody is good. Everybody here. All right. Let me just turn this up a little and just make sure everybody can hear just fine. How is everybody? What's going on, guys? It's good to be here. It's always good to be here. I hadn't anticipated getting much sleep tonight. You know, rough couple days. Yeah, Thanksgiving's supposed to be a nice time. Holidays are tough, man. I don't know. I don't know what it is about the holidays. I guess it's just like nostalgia and thinking of years past and things like that. But I don't know. I don't know why. I don't know why it's so hard. I am okay. Yeah, I am. I just haven't been sleeping very well. Up and down, up and down. You know, lost my pup. Well, she wasn't a pup, but obviously, um, and but that's okay. She was old and needed to rest. Um, so I figured, I'm awake. I just finished a couple projects, well, stuff I'd been working on, and anyway, I thought maybe that I would take some questions and we could let me see here. If you wanted to come up and ask a question, I could do that. I don't do that much. I'm not really sure why. I'm more of a structured show kind of guy, and I see others doing it, and it's a great way to interact because I don't always get back to comments or emails as fast as I should, or it just happens that way. And so I figured we could maybe discuss current cases, or if you just had a question maybe pertaining to case, maybe somebody wanted to come up and you do that, and I will put the link in the chat. Obviously, you have to show your face before you come on, and then you can go off. however you want to do that. But, um, you know, so while we wait for that, uh, I will see what's going on with everybody. How was everybody's Thanksgiving? Did everybody uh, get to talk with family and friends? I mean, or was it another COVID Thanksgiving? You know, a lot of people don't like getting together, and because because of everything that's gone on, and um, but I hope that everybody was surrounded by family and loved ones, and I know that we have a lot of people from overseas that watch and listen to this show that don't um hold on a second, that don't celebrate Thanksgiving. Somebody was trying to convince me the other day that Thanksgiving was mean to the Indians, but I didn't like. I was honestly like listening, and I didn't quite pick up what they were putting down. Not that I disagreed or agreed. I just couldn't quite make out what what they meant by saying it that way. And but nevertheless, somebody's always trying to convince me of something. And I'm always willing to listen to pretty much anything, but not always so much. Um, I don't know. It was just weird, and it was like a 25-year-old kid trying to tell me like stuff. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if anybody saw the. I believe I'm not 100% on the details or anything, but it looked like a man shot another man when he went for the custody exchange in front of his like wife and kids or something like that in Texas, and now he's claiming self-defense. So that'll be an interesting case again. I mean, I don't know. I just don't understand why you shoot people like that. Turkey doesn't taste good anywhere. Um, let's see. Let's see. Turkey. No, turkey. Yeah, I watched the video, and I just like it's. You don't just pull a gun out on somebody that doesn't have a gun. And he came out. It looked like a shotgun or whatever, and shot the guy right in the chest, which is awful. Obviously, killed him in front of a bunch of onlookers. It seemed, and that's never good, but it does happen. Link is in the chat if you do want to come up and ask a question or put a question pertaining to a case that I would be familiar with in the chat, and I will do my best to answer that. Um, pumpkin pie, that's a question. Pumpkin pie is decently good, yes. Um, I've heard that 100 times. It's just not going to happen. Maybe they said that because Thanksgiving, the pilgrims celebrating our pilgrimage here to succeed, and they did kill Indians that were native here. And I hate turkey. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. That's not how they worded it. Like I said, it was different than that. I mean, I could even kind of understand. I can understand what you just said, but that's not how they said it. So I wasn't following. Um, I mean, I've heard that theory. I have. I promise I have. It's not. I'm not foreign to that. Um, but this is like the weird. This is the weird stretch from Thanksgiving to Christmas, and you have so much stuff like that's going to happen in between, like 2 weeks off of school for kids. You know what I always found fascinating was before the pandemic started, was come to find out, because the flu is seasonal and kind of kicks up during this time. Like this is when the flu is really happening, or getting colds and flus and stuff. That the 2 weeks designed for most schools was actually designed to kind of slow that down. It was like kind of a perfect time. You know, it was cold and flu season, but it was also the holidays, and that they made a decision that together it would be beneficial to give the kids 2 weeks off during the height of cold and flu season. Um, of course, that all went out the window when COVID happened, but that I never knew that, and that had been going on for quite some time. I um, always thought that was somewhat interesting. Oh, let's see. What does someone think about the new? What does anyone think about the new variant? I don't know. I mean, they just stopped travel from, where was it? South Africa or something, or Africa, or uh, yeah, something like that. I don't know. I don't. These variants seem. I don't know. I don't know that much about it. I don't know much about variants. I don't know. I know that the Delta was supposed to be highly contagious. It seemed to be. So yes, South Africa. Um, I don't know, man. It's just it is stupid, you know. If we look back at the Spanish flu, it was 4 to 5 years before it was contained. That's true. Um, it's funny because when this all started, I had interviewed a doctor named Bharat Pankanya from the United Kingdom, and him and I talked for an hour or so about COVID, and he was a expert in infectious disease and a professor, and things like that, and him and I had a conversation right before like when things, the first shutdown happened. um and yeah, so somebody said the other day, they said, I read it, it said, the hardest part of the 14 days to stop the curb is the first 450 or something like that. Something along those lines, something smart ass like that. It was true. It's kind of funny. Uh, it's funny. So the world as we know it, at least for the foreseeable future, it's never going to be the same. Some people, treat it like it's nothing, and they just go on about their lives. If they get sick, they get sick. And then there's some people that, kind of a foot in, foot out. And then there's some that have completely isolated even after vaccination. There's people that aren't vaccinated that are completely isolating. I mean, there's a lot of, but life as we know it for the foreseeable future will never be the same. There are people that will never go back to the way life was, hugging and shaking hands, and uh it's really odd, you would think about it like this. um think about it like this. If if somebody had been in a coma for the last close to 2 years now, I think what this February or something like that, it'll be 2 years since this whole thing started. And yeah, I was too. I was born to social distance. That's true. Me too. But it is so strange to think that these people lived such a different life before this. I don't understand. Yeah, it is very, very tough. We all have different struggles with what's going on, mental health, and um, not being around family, not feeling comfortable. That's a big thing. Like, that's one of the big things, is that a lot of people just don't feel comfortable for whatever reason. I mean, there's a million reasons not to feel comfortable, and it's totally understandable. And then what happens is this whole thing became politicized, and that just is never a good idea. When you're dealing with just human individuals, it doesn't matter. Like, some people are terrified, some people aren't. Some people are in bad health, some people aren't. Some people are more susceptible, some people aren't. And that's just how it is. Some people are terrified, and some people aren't. Why? I don't know. Um, and I truly don't think that it's a big, if somebody's not comfortable, then they're just not comfortable. Molly J says it's the flu. Well, look, I'm not going to get into the semantics and the politics of it. We're not really talking about. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about people's comfort level. The politics of it don't interest me, but the human aspect individually does interest me, because everybody just deals with it different. Everybody has dealt with it different. And the one thing that you look back on when you go all the way, um, when you go all the way back, is how scary at first it really was, because you're kind of going, this isn't gonna be a big deal. This isn't going to be a big deal. And it turned out to be a big deal. It was a very, very big deal. It was a very big deal. Whether you agree with it or not, the fact is that it was a big deal. Whether it got turned into a big deal or not, it was. It's been a big deal. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not really interested in I'm not look, we're just talking here. We're just talking. I'm not talking about the politics of it. But the one thing that I always found interesting is, the social butterflies of the world, the people that like got to be all up in the mix. They love going to concerts and crowded baseball games and hey, Roy, I don't care about um I really don't care about your feelings of anybody that way. I'm not talking about that. So keep that out of here. It's just unreal. What do you say that for? What are you doing? That's quite the rant you're going on, Roy. His concerts too. Yeah, I mean, but I always wondered about those people, like how just antsy they were. My sister, she was like one of those people. I don't know. I don't know how that works. Um, I don't know. Anybody wants to come up, feel free. Come on up and ask a question. You're always you're welcome to. Um, I normally quite chill, so I think. Yeah, some people are made for isolation. Some people love it. People love working from home. I don't know, man. I got to spend a lot of time with my family during it. I don't know if that's good or bad, but it happened. And then that's just how it was. But that yeah, like I look at like DJs and like club owners and stuff, and just going, I know these guys are just dying. You produce something in a lab. That's not normal. Damn it, Roy. You just can't help yourself. Can't help yourself. Roy. We get it, dude. We're talking about how it has affected people, not why or the reason for it, or it's just it's something that we have to deal with. It's something that we have to deal with. It is what it is. Feel how you want to feel about it. It's not going to change anything. But we've all just had to deal with it in different ways. We've all had to deal with it in different ways. And I don't know, dude. Face the facts. Oh my god. What did I just tell you? I don't know. I'm pretty sure I just told you. Like, I get it, dude. You don't like the doctors. You don't like you know, I get it. Sorry. Cream puff, all good. Maybe Roy fell off a horse and bumped his head. Well, I'm not asking for people. Well, the thing was, we weren't talking about people's opinion of it. He's just telling his opinion because he thinks that people care. And we're not talking about the effects or if it's real or if it was created. We're just talking about how we've all dealt with it, how we've dealt with it. Roy tends to deal with it by lashing out in a public chat room, telling people to face the facts and to jab doctors in the face. Just really weird outbursts, some really like cat loving, wet cat food litter box talk. It's odd. Um, yeah, calm down, Royd. Yeah, I don't know. Are you still wearing a mask in public, Josh? You're brave enough to go without. I wear a mask in public. Always. I always wear a mask in public. Well, I mean, they make us anyway. Yeah, wet litter box. It's just weird. Guys like up waiting to tell anybody who wants it. It's made in a lab. Guys, it's made in a lab. I'm like, okay. I wasn't really asking that, nor do I care. I really don't either about like, call me a sheep, call me what you want. I got other stuff to do. Yeah, we have to wear masks. It's just required. They make us wear masks everywhere. And I have these really cool masks. I made a whole fashion thing about it. I'm really into like like I would match. This is so stupid. Like I don't even know why I'm going to tell you, but I was like matching my beanies with my mask, like the um my beanies and my masks would match, and I would get these really nice masks, uh, and yeah, I would like I don't know. It was weird, right? Like I tried to turn it in like an accessory thing. Like let me see if let's see if I can find one for you here. Yeah, I'm a trendsetter, that's for sure. I just figured, hey, if we got to wear a mask, we might as well look good, right? I don't know. It was, um, but yeah, I still wear a mask because I have to. I don't know about being brave. Let's see. I did. Oh, no, it wasn't weird. It was just. I'll show you. I'll show ya. Definitely. Yeah, it's here somewhere. A couple really decent. It's way too far. Here we go. Here we go. I think. Bang, 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 bang. Hold on, hold on. I'm looking. Sorry. I'm going to find it because now I got to show you what I was doing. Oh, here we go. I found one. I found one. This was, see what I'm saying? That's me. Like that's drip, right? Is that drip? The drip never stops. Is that what they say? look, look at that. I mean, that was fire. That's fire. I don't care what anybody says. Shoot. Come on. Come on. That is drip. Look lame as fuck, to be honest. Well, Tyrone, so do you. Look lame as fuck. Tyrone. It looked lame, to be honest. I'm up at 3 in the morning typing it looked lame, to be honest. Shut up. Get some mask with the lab printed on. Nah. Seems like a lot of work. I don't really want to do that. I know there's an internet gangster in here. He's just bored. Look lame, to be honest. What does drip mean? Drip. It just means like I don't know. Just drip. It's just what it is. It's just drip. It's what it is. Tyrone's a hater. Look lame, to be honest. TBH. And it wasn't even lame. He just said lame AF. Tyrone Williams Jr. Man. Joshua, have you been smoking? I don't know what that means. Joshua, have you been Yeska tonight? I don't know what that means. Probably. Oh, thanks. Drip. Can somebody get the definition of drip? I don't know. When you say something like oh yeah, the drip, like you're dripping, like you're flossed up. Do I go into the bank like what? No, it's not. Oh my god. Guys, come on now. It's yeah, drip. I don't know. Yeah, drip means cool. There we go. Yeah, that's how I have to go into the bank. I have to wear a mask into the bank. If what do you mean do I go into the bank like that? How else am I going to go into the bank? Can't go in there without a mask, and I just so happen to be wearing a beanie. Dripper, dripping, it means slang. There you go. How's that? Just roll with it. Appreciate that. Yeah, drip, like you're dripping. I don't know. Yeah, it's not an STD thing. Why are people? Come on now. Now you're just being nasty. 5 years ago, you would have been tasered. Well, it's not 5 years ago. No better time to be a burglar. Um, yeah, I think so. Dripping in diamonds. No. Uh-oh. I met and became friends with Sue Klebold at a mother's grief conference. We watched your Columbine video and we were both very moved. Would you ever be interested in meeting her or interviewing her? Sue Klebold, Dylan Klebold's mother. Um, yeah, I mean, sure, I would. That's fun. That's interesting that she saw my yeah, that's interesting. Spent a lot of time on that video. Spent a lot of time on that video. Um, yeah, the Columbine, just like everybody else, you get fascinated with what goes on in the mind of those people that are able to commit those kind of crimes. And the thing about Dylan was he was very influenced by Eric, and I don't believe that Dylan would have ever. This is just my personal opinion, but I don't believe Dylan would have ever became a school shooter. There's people trying to come up, but I'm not really I'm not really recognizing these people, so I don't really want to let them in. But thank you, I appreciate that. I don't think that Dylan was capable. Well, I wouldn't say wasn't capable. Capable by himself. When he was influenced by somebody else, I think that that's how he became capable of doing what he did. Because Eric was really, if you get down to it, they were both extremely ill, but they kind of fed into each other's sickness. Both of them were suicidal. Eric was definitely homicidal. And I think that Dylan was kind of brushed in, with they kind of brought the suicidal or the homicidal tendencies kind of escalated with the older Dylan, because Dylan was a few years old, a couple years older. I think he was a senior and Dylan was a sophomore or maybe like that. And the crazy thing is the FBI tapes. There's when I say there's FBI tapes, you can't watch the videos. There's a bunch of home videos. When I say a bunch, but sometimes some home videos. As well over cheer. No, Kathy, I don't actually. No, I don't. Is Tyrone still here? I don't even see him. But anyway, what I was saying was didn't care for Eric, but she also for her son's choices. Yeah, look, well, I mean, I wouldn't. Would you? I don't know if you could blame. Uh, I don't think I mean, I don't think you could blame anybody for those choices, but I think it is what it is. They manufactured these thoughts together. They manufactured these thoughts together. And I think without Eric, the Columbine never happens. And Eric just so happened to find a kid that shared some of the sentiment of him. I mean, they shared a lot of the same. Like I said, they were both suicidal, violent, played video games that promoted violence, were too much into the violence of the video games, really started to blur the lines between reality and fiction, and they just fiction and nonfiction. They just really didn't know the difference, and they had gotten in trouble a few different times before Columbine actually happened. And when Columbine when Columbine actually happened, I mean, it was a year or so of planning, maybe a little over a year. I mean, that's a long time. The fact that these guys had websites and they had websites about killing people, and then apparently they weren't able to recover. I mean, they should have been in jail. They should have been in jail far before um, all of that happened, but they weren't. Yeah, a little over 14 months. Yeah, it was what a terrible, terrible, terrible time that was. I've done, like I said, I've done a few different things on Columbine. I've done a few different things on Columbine, so it's Very tragic. Very tragic. I don't know, I don't know if you guys are familiar with Brooks Brown, but Brooks Brown was sort of a friend of Eric and Dylan. I mean, they were kind of on again, off again friends that kind of fought a lot. And I always kind of wondered about Eric, Eric and Brooks, because when I spoke to Craig Scott about Brooks, he didn't paint Brooks in a very good light. Kind of that, he was into some, not to the extent of Eric and Dylan, but that he was into kind of some, weird stuff along with those two. And yeah, that's once again, this is what Brooks claims. And I don't know if Brooks, like, the problem with Brooks is that I think there are some people that don't actually believe him. I have nothing to say. When sweat, what is going on? What's going on in the chat? I can't words. I don't know. Minor disagreement. Of course there is. Of course there's a minor disagreement. There's always a minor disagreement. It's always something. It's weird. Come on, guys. Brooks Brown claims that Dylan or that Eric spared him. And I have no reason not to believe him, other than there are people that don't believe him. But I don't know why he would make that up either. You would think that his story would be a little bit more heroic, if he was making it up. So, I mean, I tend to believe him, but yeah, that's the story. And but he wasn't the only kid that was let go that day. Kid by the name of Dylan Savage, same thing. They let him run out of the library. I mean, and that was confirmed by a number of kids on the library. And so that would be kind of on point with, let's see. Oh God. Eric was a very, very disturbed young man. And Tyrone, for your information, I was picking up some water with a piece of paper. I was dabbing it. So mind your business and just be quiet and watch the show, or I'll block you. And that way you can't hang out with us adults, because you've already been a hater once. I don't really like people that just run their mouth in the chat, that sit in their bed and talk about other people. It's just, you both is a match made in heaven. All right. Well, I've had enough of Tyrone, like most people probably in his life. So let's just go ahead and get rid of the big dum dum. Later, Tyrone. You better call Tyrone. Better call Tyrone. Call Tyrone. Better call Tyrone. Bye, Tyrone. Uh, uh. I know that you're watching, but you can't say anything in the chat because you lost your privilege, because you are just a troll and you just like to talk about people. Go somewhere, feel better about yourself. Bye, Tyrone. Bye, Tyrone. Bye, Tyrone. Uh. See you, Tyrone. Bye, 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 bye. See ya later. Dork. That's racist. Get out of here with that shit. I don't want to hear that. President's Day. It's almost 1 in the morning on the West Coast. See, some people don't know how to act. Like you can come in and hang out, and then you start calling chicks in the chat shouty and telling people they're lame and things like that. Then just leave, dude. Just go somewhere else. Like, no, we don't. Nobody needs you around. You're not contributing anything. You're not even being friendly. You're just being a douche. Like you're just coming over and you know, oh, I'm gonna talk crap to people in chat that I'll never meet. Just like, what's the point? I've never done that in my life. Shouty is a word that guys call women. It just means like that, it's just a slang for woman. Instead of saying like addressing you like a normal person. Or it could mean a little kid. It's one or the other, but it's mostly just slang for a woman. It's just I don't know why you would call somebody that. Just ma'am is okay. You can call somebody ma'am or miss or Mrs. or he or she or sir or it's yeah, I don't know if it's just a way to talk down. I don't know. I don't know if it's disrespectful. I would never call somebody that. Yeah, well, that's the point. That men are typically taller than women, and so that's why you would call a woman shorty or shouty. I hope you're still watching, Tyrone. You really caused a mess. Hope you feel good about yourself. I just, it's just weird. It's just like weird to talk to people that way. It's just that way with everybody. You don't need to call like just be nice. Shouty. Hey, Shouty, what up? I would never say that to a human. Talk to people that way. It's so stupid. Like you're just speaking for all men. This is how I talk to women. Roar. I also don't call women. That's another thing I don't do. I don't call women honey or sweetie or baby or cutie or none of that. Never. I would never do that. People do that too. I don't know. Just smoked a fatty. Oh wow. CBD. Um yeah, you guys are funny. I don't like if you're not my woman or wife, girlfriend, fiance, whatever, I probably shouldn't call you. I probably shouldn't call you anything like that. I should call you ma'am or by your name, I guess. Yeah, you just don't talk to people that way. It's just not like it's just not a thing. Like I don't know who taught anybody to. You know, I don't know. I think it's wrong, but drip is respectful. It's just talking about myself and my own. Like this flannel is straight fire. Drip. Quit smoking. You're hurting your good rep. Hmm. Okay. I'll do my best. I think my reputation's fine. I don't know. Someone others. Plus, it's like 2 in the morning, 1 in the morning on a Saturday night. Uh, it's very, very legal right here. Flannel wearing hero. I am wearing a flannel. Kind of the thing. Like I'm wearing a flannel. It's a thing in the South. I think it's different if like a lady does it. I don't know. I would never, I just, it's just a thing. Like, I think in the South too, like people say ma'am a lot, don't they? That's a thing. I don't like it when people who don't know me address me first name. Well, yeah, I agree with that. I agree. I agree. May I compliment you on your MLB logo? You can, but it's not my logo. Like yeah, like women, especially like waitresses and social workers and stuff like that. They like to say, "Hey, hun," or "sweetie," or something that like that's to me that's different. But like as a guy, like I would never talk to like a lady that way. I would never say, "How you doing, sweetie? How you doing, honey? How you doing, beautiful?" I would say, "Hello, ma'am. How you doing, ma'am?" Uh, okay, Mr. Diaz from now on. Yeah, you can call me whatever you want. It doesn't. People say, yeah, I know, darling, hun. It's all the same. I get miss a lot, and I'm 54. Miss is fine. Miss is cool. I'm with that. Thank you, Jennifer. I appreciate that. And here goes Luca being foul again. Wop, not cool. Gross. Call my. Let's see. Yeah, like that's different. Deer might be the one exception. Like I call when I coach basketball, like say son to kids who aren't my actual son. I call my nephew son. Just kind of in conversation, just in a normal setting. I say, "Hey, how you doing, son?" Or "Son, can you get me that?" I don't know. Stupid. It doesn't really matter. Um, yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. I think my reputation's okay. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I'm not particularly it's endearing. That's just how I talk. It's just how I talk. Let me see. So I got somebody. Um, hold on 1 second. Hey, how's it going?
Coming in to say hello.
Hi, how are you? Hold on 1 second. Are you there?
Josh?
Yep, I'm here.
Oops, hold on a minute. Okay, I'm going to unmute my mic. There we go.
All right.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Doing great.
Good, good. What are you up to tonight?
Well, right now you're fuzzy because it's either my eyes or my condition. I'm kidding. It's
Maybe
been a
it's,
long day.
maybe it's a bit of both.
So, what's your subject tonight? Or is it open or
Open.
were you? I
Yeah, go
came
ahead.
at 8.
Oh, do you have a specific question about something or
No, I came in late and then when and I even was looking at the chat and thinking, oh my gosh, I couldn't understand it. It was something with some guy, some troll,
oh
and so,
yeah,
okay,
Tyrone.
I don't know
Yeah.
what's going on. But what was going on here on my balcony was I came back from dinner and I kept hearing all these sirens and all these helicopters. I'm like, this is very odd for Beverly Hills. What's going on? And then there's a wedding downstairs, a really big one. And I'm thinking, well, maybe it's a star. Maybe it's somebody important there. And they've got the helicopter hovering. So I'm typing this to my friend, and she goes, go downstairs and be a wedding crasher. I go, oh, hell no, I'm not going to be a wedding crasher. She goes, go downstairs and see what's going on. So I get out of my bathrobe and I go downstairs and I see it's this big wedding. And I'm thinking, well, there's nice cars here. Maybe there is somebody in that ballroom. So I walk around a little bit and I'm looking at this. Doug would understand this. The guy that's in Bakersfield that goes out in his car and he goes on these radio calls or whatever, and then
Uh-huh.
he reports it. So I was looking at his thing on his channel on um, YouTube, and I'm like, oh my gosh, now I know what's going on. And there was a man that was coming up Linden and Wilshire in his van, and he stopped, and then he proceeded to go when he saw the police, and he proceeded to go on Wilshire until he got to Rodeo. He stopped his van in between, right in the middle of the street. And it went on for 5 or 6 hours. This guy
Really?
in the van.
What exactly was he doing?
That's what I want to know. what I don't understand is when I went back and listened to this guy's channel, I rewound it and I'm like, oh my gosh. I was listening to everything and they brought in the Bearcat. They brought in, I mean, it was pretty serious. They put something in and found there was only one guy in there and he was unresponsive
in the van.
in the van. But what's interesting is that when I listened to the tape again, the guys go, wait a minute, I heard so many booms. Like there were like five to, six booms. And they go, what if one of those booms was like a flash, those things that they throw in sometimes, those flash.
Yeah, flashbang.
Yeah, there you And he goes, what if he got hurt from it? And that's why he's unresponsive. And you hear these other reporters, and I can't hear them as well because I'm hearing other stuff like this wedding downstairs and the helicopters. And so as time goes on, they're like going, oh my gosh, the guy is deceased. He'd been pulled out. Who knows? It could have been one of those.
And this just happened, huh?
It happened at like 6 something this evening. I went to dinner at 6 in Westwood, and I came back, at 9:30, 10, and I was typing this stuff to my friend, and I'm like, I wonder why this helicopter is going on and what's going on. And she goes, go downstairs. Maybe there's a big, sure enough, there's a party. That when I hear this, I'm like, oh my God. And there were a lot of police.
Yeah, somebody right here just said that they think that there was a standoff there earlier. So you could see the van yourself, huh?
No, what I can't see it from where I am. I am on the corner of right here with that moon in the background. Can you see that little dot up there?
Yeah.
That's in the kind of, there's a moon. That's the corner of Wilshire and Santa Monica. So Wilshire's going to go this way. Santa Monica's going to go more north. And Wilshire's going to go more east.
Oh.
So I'm in the corner.
How does the wedding tie in?
I swear I thought that something, because this hotel, there's always a huge wedding. Always.
Yeah. Well, it looks nice.
All the time. Like every single Friday, Saturday, Sunday, they're booked. So I thought for sure it's got to be something paparazzi. It could be a very important person, security. I don't know. But then when I was downstairs and I started looking online, I looked on YouTube. I put in Beverly Hills. I think I even put Beverly Hills standoff. And that guy came up, the guy that does this something news. And he goes out like this guy that Doug knows. And in Bakersfield.
Yeah, I think I know who you're talking about. I honestly don't even know who that guy is, but I've heard his name before.
But this is a different guy, and he goes out in these areas, this side of the world, and of LA. Mm-hmm. Apparently, he got there really fast, right. Because he was able to stand there and see. He had really grainy footage, which was sad because I'm thinking, you know what? If you're going to do this, get better equipment. Get a better lens. Come on.
I find it. Wow, that's a long standoff too.
Yeah, that's a long time. With the Bearcat coming right at it was like in his windshield, and then there was something else behind him.
Yeah, somebody in the chat just said it's scanner chasers. It's kind of like that movie Nightcrawler where they kind of just listen and take off towards where the action is to get in people's way.
Right.
It's
But I'm
ridiculous.
wondering, and what's odd is today, oh, it's so weird. I was telling my husband, I said, I there's so many iconic things about this hotel. And had this couple, I was reading about a couple that had taken their lives in this hotel. A couple, they were elderly. And somebody said, had they not had done it anywhere else, it wouldn't have made the news. But because it was in Beverly Hills, it made big news.
Yeah, it's
You
a
know what I mean? It's
right. I mean, you see, look, this weekend in Chicago, probably 60 people will get shot and probably 12, 13 of them will die. And that's an every weekend thing. You just
yeah,
don't hear about it much. But yeah, when you're,
yeah.
Beverly Hills and something like that happens, it's just not like a normal, I don't know,
Every day.
but Beverly Hills itself, but on the outside, um,
Yeah,
the outskirts wouldn't, like South Central, like nobody's gonna talk about it there, but where you are, they're definitely gonna talk about it, but it'll probably won't even be a big story. That's the thing. It'll just,
a blip in the
yeah, standoff with man,
right.
and you say did he die?
Yes,
Yeah.
when they got to this guy,
Oh, maybe he shot
they said
himself.
he's unresponsive. And
Right,
then
he could have shot himself.
that's what I'm like thinking, because they've been saying, and I hate to say it, that death by cop mentality of, hey, if I'm going to go out, I'm just going to let him just, or I'm just going to do it myself. And,
Yeah, they do that a lot too.
I
Um,
can't do it anymore. I'm just going to do it. I can't, you know what I mean? And people, it's so sad because this time of year, mental health, I'm sorry, every day is hard for anyone with mental health. But this time of year, it's been exceptionally, and with COVID, people have been, more inward, not as social, and now people are getting out more. And
well, it's funny that you say that because right after the NBA opened up, they had a rash of problems with fans just doing insane stuff, and it was like more happened in 2 weeks when the NBA came back with fans than it happened probably in the last 3 years combined. And
I was
so
one of, I was
it's
one of them.
did you get in trouble at an NBA game?
No, I'm really surprised too. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's weird that
I,
people didn't know how to act.
I'm not a Warriors fan. Sorry.
That's good. Neither am I.
I'm sorry.
I'm a Laker fan.
I used to like the Lakers, but I think that these guys' attitudes and their allegiance has gotten a little away from them.
Yeah.
you know, it gets too politicized. My husband gave up our seats after 35 years as Sacramento Kings season ticket holders. Okay.
Wow.
And my son and I got like
You
really
held
mad.
on to those 34 years too long.
I,
They are not good. And they
oh my
haven't
Lord, I want to get out there and play. Come on. I mean,
they
it's like,
probably do better than some.
yeah. I mean, it all comes from, like I've said, and I think I said it, and what I didn't realize, now, okay, so my son and I decided we were going to get better seats. Since my husband got rid of our seats, we'd get better seats.
Mhm.
We're just like, okay, we really want to go. We enjoy the games. Well, you know what? My husband will not pay the NBA. He says, I'm not paying, you know, China and everybody else. And it's a lot of people are pissed off at the NBA. And the
Yeah,
players are
you know
just,
the the thing about the NBA is that China, if it wasn't for China, the NBA wouldn't be half as popular as it is. I don't know if you maybe you don't know this, but in the NBA might be more popular in China than it is here in the United States. I mean, it is huge.
Hands down.
Yeah.
Hands down.
And
All levels.
yeah, and it's just a really that they're very intertwined. The
Endorsements
China
and
wanted somebody fired. It was like an executive because they were talking about the freedom fighters in Hong Kong,
yeah.
and China responded with wanting that person fired because he was standing up for human rights. And
Yeah.
what ended up happening was,
I've heard this.
yeah, they tried to get him fired. China was very, very upset. They told
God.
the commissioner that he was fired and or that he needed to be fired. And Adam Silver, the commissioner of the NBA, said,
Oh
no,
my God.
no, we don't. People have freedom of speech here. We don't.
It's water.
Is that a aluminum can?
It is. They gave me an aluminum can so that I can go down the hall, which really sucks. I have to go down the hall. When I check in, they give me this bottle.
Mm.
It's an aluminum kind of bottle.
Mm-hmm.
And they go, okay, next to the elevator down the hall is an ice machine and this thing that you just put your bottle underneath it, and you'll get the most alkaline fresh water you could ever have.
Is that like a
I'm like,
5-star hotel? Don't say what hotel it is.
I would never tell you.
Yeah,
But
thank
yeah,
you.
yeah, I was like, okay. I go,
Mm.
personally, I kind of miss how I used to get at least a glass bottle, plastic bottle, any kind of bottle in the middle of the night when I'm like,
Yeah, I know. I'm drinking out of a plastic one, but I
you
have
know what
been,
I mean?
I have been
Yeah,
drinking water out of aluminum cans. It's odd at first, but it definitely
I'm like, I'm not trekking down the hallway. I'm sorry. I'm too friggin' lazy. When I'm thirsty, I'm thirsty.
and so what case have you been following the most here on YouTube?
Summer. Are you kidding? This poor child. Well, I was very in trying most children because they're the most victimized besides uh yeah, they're the most victimized right now. There's others, but that would
Well,
be.
the
and
elderly, yeah.
and did you know that also Black trans women,
Are what?
trans women of color are murdered. Uh, Just it's staggering, the deaths, and
Really?
it breaks my heart. Yeah,
I didn't
it's
know that. I know
the statistics are horrid, and it would just blow your
by
mind.
murder.
Yeah, yeah,
I
for who
I
they are.
see that was the thing that going back all the way to the 70s, I've always known, especially prostitutes, and I'm not
Yeah,
saying that, but um like women prostitutes. There was a man I think he was in LA. It was called the Grim Sleeper, I believe his name was.
Sleeper. That sounds very familiar.
Grim Sleeper, and he killed, I think it was 13 prostitutes that were all black. He was black.
Yeah,
And
I think I remember this case, but I don't remember. I remember the grim part.
yeah, he was a mechanic. And the reason that these people or this guy would target these women was because they were just really I mean, they're just prostitutes. That was his thinking. And maybe there's something to that. I don't know. I think it's anybody that's targeted is it's just a terrible, terrible
It's
situation.
people have it. I think these people are so loony in their heads that they think they need to rid the world of these people, these dirty people, these heathenistic people, do you know what I'm saying? It's like their duty.
Yeah.
And they're the scariest. I mean, like, especially if they're bringing religion into it. They're
Yeah.
using religion, which is the same as in the Summer case. People use religion to buy their reputation. I'm a good Christian person. Don't you believe me? Yeah, that
Right.
kind of person.
Well, that's kind of the idea when it comes to trying to cover up for all your sins. I mean, well, I'm
Yeah.
just a Lonnie Franklin was the guy's name. I remember that case. And
Honey,
I remember watching his interrogation, and it
see
was
it now.
just one sheet after the other. They had his DNA to like 13 women. And um he was they were sitting in front of him, and they kept sliding one after the other in front of him, murdered prostitutes that he did because his DNA was on them. And
Amazing.
he would go, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how they got there. And they're going, well, you're going to have to do better than that,
I'm moving. Hold on.
but
Really?
yeah,
How long did it take to get this guy? I can't remember.
well, that was the thing, was that he had went and what he had done was he would take some time off. And when he would take time off, things would go cold again. So, I mean, he would go
He was one
years
of
in
those.
between. Yeah, he would go years in between killing.
He was like the
But
Golden
yeah,
State Killer. He
just like
stopped
that.
for a while, and then he'd go on and do more.
Yeah, those kind of killers think that they can get things under control. I'm never going to do it
No,
again.
no,
And
no.
then all of a sudden, here comes the demon.
They're like, I'm sorry, they're pedos in the shadows forever. And they will never, they should stay in the shadow because they should be locked up in there forever in one of them, just one little shed, you know.
What do you think happened to Summer?
I think I have a feeling that somebody sold that little child for something, drugs, money, whatever. And the people that perpetrated the taking of her never brought her back.
Wouldn't
But
there be some sort of trail?
I think that Candace and her mother know.
Wouldn't there be some sort of trail, though?
It's got to be Candace. Candace
There would
knows.
have to be some digital evidence there.
Her mom knows. It could be on that camera. Something.
Well, then they would be probably arrested, right?
Will be there somewhere.
Yeah.
Where they're not even looking right now. Something that they said, something that's so innocuous that somebody go, no way, not that. And it's like, oh my God, what were we thinking? It was right under our nose.
So you think she's alive?
No.
Okay. So
I think somebody would have totally dropped dynamite on that for a long time ago, because these people are like, I need the money. I can do it anonymously. I can just, I just have to present what I do know as evidence. And if it comes out that that evidence is definitely viable, then and truthful.
See, the thing is, though, when it comes to these kind of cases, there's so many conspiracies. And I'm not saying what you said is a conspiracy. It is a possibility that she was sold. Right. That's not abnormal. But when you start talking, trafficked, not brought back, these abducted or this or that.
I don't think the abducted thing. I know that people that her parents know, or at least Candace knows. I'm not kidding. That woman or her mother know. And her mother could have been the one that said, bring Summer to the church. Because didn't she go to the church to look for Summer when she found out she was missing? Why would she go to the church?
I don't know about that. I don't know
If that's true.
where. Well, yeah, I'm not 100% sure about that. But if you like think back to, do you remember the Casey Anthony?
Yes. Oh,
Okay. So there was
creepy.
Zanny the nanny, Zenaida Gonzalez. There
Right.
was there was trafficking. She's
A
overseas.
lot of evidence
She was
seemed
a half a mile away in a
right.
wooded area from her family's house for 9 months. EquiSearch was out there, and they went through there for 9 months, and they
Yeah.
found her barely less than a mile from her house. What I'm
I
telling you is, it's going to be so much more simple than that when this comes to
I
a
think so
close.
too. It could be just that maybe she did drop her off at the church and she got trafficked from there. I don't know. But somebody would have said something by now. You would think that somebody would really, or they would just, like I said, anonymously say something for the money.
Well, that's where it comes, that there's only a few people that do know what happened. And the fact of the matter is that Candace and Grandma were the last two adults to
Right,
admit to being in having her in their custody. Both of
right.
these women have a violent past with children.
Bad temper.
The worst.
Yeah,
And also, uh, they're bad parents. They don't
right.
pay attention to their children. So you could either have gra- uh you could have had
Yeah,
Candace,
bad
beat
mom
on
or
her. You could have had Grandis do the same thing.
yeah.
One of the boys could have pushed her and she hurt herself. It could very well be an accident. I don't think it was intentional murder. I really don't. But I think it's homicide,
They're
and
major
negligence.
projects. And I'm surprised they aren't at least being, I know they wanted, they're building their case and such, but shouldn't they have them under scrutiny and maybe under lock and key or under some suspicion in a way? You know what I'm saying? If there's got, they've got to be getting
Well,
close because
well,
this is getting ridiculous with these
I've said
people.
this before, that when a
They're just,
child's missing,
mhm,
it could go on for a long time. This is a case
so
that
ridiculous.
nobody's ever seen a case quite like this. When you factor in Jody Sue, what the hell? That's the lady, the neighbor. But when you
Right.
factor in Rose, who's
That's
been
too weird
missing,
too.
you got a mother.
Who
So
acts
you
like
have,
a
yeah,
teenager? Yeah.
yeah. Rose
Flip
is
it.
missing, Summer's missing. Tell me the odds of that, and then tell
Yeah.
me what the odds are that the grandma or mother of Rose know nothing about either one. Nothing, not
Yeah.
one thing. They know
No,
nothing. That's just
no,
impossible.
no. I mean, most people, most parents would be literally at the police station and not moving and saying, you know what, I'm going to stay right here. I'm going to listen to your calls. I'm going to go wherever you got to go. I want to know what the hell's going on. And these people are not even checking in. They're not, DUIs,
Well,
pranking people, negligent charges, CPS. I'm dying to know when they go back for that.
well, if you think about the beginning of the case, what happens is, share like these local sheriff, the local sheriff's department,
Mhm.
they're not used to these kind of cases. This is a small podunk town
Yeah,
with not tons of resources.
right.
Um,
They're
who
like,
knows how long it took the FBI to get involved? So you have the same thing happened in the Jean-Benet Ramsey case. You had very
I
inexperienced
was like that.
cops. Yeah, but like they put these
God,
cops in impossible positions
that
because they're
was
not trained for
the
this stuff. They don't know how to handle missing persons case, so the very start is where it all goes downhill. Like
yeah.
when you have when you have somebody go missing, obviously time is of the essence. The
Mm-hmm.
problem is if they had a
Oh
head
my
start, if they had a head start, well,
God.
think about how far behind the local law enforcement is from there. What I mean by a head start is if they did something with Summer in the hours before. We're not even
Yeah.
100% sure that that's the day that she went missing. That's just when
Right.
they told us that she did. If you're a court, if you take Hunter's word for it, if you take
I was
uh,
just gonna say his accountability of that day and when is he is a teenager. He was under the influence. I'm sure she was as well,
oh, of course.
you know. And I think even one thing re-drinking, she's like, no. I thought I heard an interview when like Chris or somebody else, were you drinking that day? No, I was driving. No, that was grandma's.
I,
That
yeah.
was grandma's tea. I'm like, oh, okay, it's everybody else's. Grandma's vapes too, right? You know.
Yeah, they all vape. They all want to go to the hot. What is that stupid store? It says Josh, I totally agree. Does anyone know if scene of crimes ever does anyone like the crime scene? I'm guessing they did, but after some time, uh when somebody goes missing, law enforcement shows up right away.
Yeah,
They're securing a scene.
that
I don't
too.
know. I don't know how long it took TBI to get involved, but and I don't even necessarily know if it was botched. They just don't. I just don't know if they know how to handle those kind of cases. It's just not something that comes up every day. I mean,
I would agree with you. I mean,
it's,
if it
it's
if
tough.
really were like one sheriff goes on up there, hello,
Yeah,
like, excuse
Sheriff
me,
Ron.
yeah, like the guy from what was that, Dukes of Hazzard? Yeah,
Yeah,
and it's
I
like
don't know.
it's a good old boy club, and oh yeah, how you doing? And
Mhm.
what's going on? And these dogs, this whole dogs and the dog trail and all this. I don't know.
You'll be so like we'll all be so surprised when
There's
this
nothing to do
case
with it.
gets solved, and this case will get solved. But
Oh
when
God,
this case gets solved, how many of these things that we discussed at length will mean absolutely nothing in the end. The dogs, the dog trail, the red truck.
yeah.
Some of this stuff some of this stuff is just not going to be
No, I
uh,
I almost agree with
relevant
that.
at all.
It's like throwing things out to sea and saying, will something grab that chum and pull it and plug it a fish?
And
They're not.
another thing is that
They're pranking it.
law enforcement did not expect people to pick up on this case nationally like it has. I'm in California. I cover this case. This
Yeah,
is this is Eastern Tennessee. Things like this happen and they're kind of just kept quiet. Not so much kept quiet, but it's just another missing person, another missing child. Well, say what you want about the YouTube community and the true crime, quote unquote, true crime community. Uh, Summer got 2 hours of national news attention on the Dr. Phil show
right.
because of the pressure that has been put on by by internet sleuths and private investigators or
Yeah,
that is the best thing that anybody you most parents would want this kind of
Oh my,
coverage when it comes to their child.
anybody and everybody, they would want somebody to know this is what's happening. This is where I was. I need to find my child. This is what she was wearing.
Right.
This is what, her hair is like. Not having other people put it together for them. Like,
Mm-hmm.
friends,
Well,
of course, that took on
it's
that,
funny that it took them so long to come out with a list of frequently asked questions.
oh,
And then they finally did. And it was right before they went on Dr. Phil because they were going to get absolutely hammered the next day. And they rightfully so. I mean,
he
you're
should,
working.
they should have hit him harder. Like, seriously harder. Like,
Yeah.
you're a freaking addict and you guys need some help. You're both just looking a little too still, even with the makeover. You're
Mm.
just not cutting the mustard.
No,
Don't
it
eat
is
issue.
true. It is
And
true.
maybe
It's
you'll have
just,
a third show. You never know.
I don't think that Candace has any intention of doing any more shows. I don't think that I mean, have you seen Don recently within the last week or so? No. No. He's being advised,
Not to talk.
right? And that is
That's actually what
probably
he
for
should do.
the best. Huh?
Yeah, he
For
should do.
him.
The only thing he should be doing, the only talking he should be doing,
For
is
some.
down at the police station and really getting involved with.
I don't even know if he knows, honestly.
Probably not. Candace lied all the time to him.
Yeah, they absolutely are
You know what I'm
liars.
saying? She probably lied to him.
Oh, grandma
About
is too.
the
Grandma
Jose
didn't
thing.
like him. Grandma doesn't like Don at all, not one bit.
Exactly.
And most of the time it seems like Candace doesn't like him either. It seems like none of
Oh,
them
and
like each other.
especially when you add alcohol. But yet sometimes I hear her just when she's all liquored up, she will stand up for him and then he'll just tell her to shut up or whatever. And I'm thinking, okay,
Yeah.
that is just abusive all around. Plus he's abusive to animals. Plus he's abusive to children. Plus, it's like
Not according to him.
she's got some, and her mom, I'm telling you, both of them do not have a motherly gene in them.
Well,
I'm sorry. It's
Grandis is
down
worse
there.
than Candace.
Candace, where's her daughter?
Rose
Now her
wouldn't
granddaughter.
even let Grandis see her kids. Did you know that?
That they weren't allowed to see. Grandis was not allowed to see her
Rose's kids. Rose did not want her mom being around her kids.
You know why? The brother was a complete cuckoo.
Well, the brother was a cuckoo, but she's not a nice person.
And her mom's not a nice person. So put them both together, and she's got all of that SA people in her past, and and others.
Somebody says here, what's the past on Grandis? You name it.
You got a rap
endangerment, child neglect, child abuse. What else do you want? I mean, the list goes on and on and on. Resisting arrest, terrorist threats, weapons charge. I mean, these people shouldn't have been around children. That's just the long and short of it. And it's a shame that
they brought people into this world with that attitude of just
yeah.
They're not thinking. I mean, when I heard, oh, she was only 7, she was 17. It's okay. Didn't Robin say that? I almost lost it when she said that.
Yeah.
What's wrong with a 56-year-old man and a 17-year-old girl? I just don't understand it. I'm like, what Kool-Aid are you drinking?
Yeah, it is.
Weird. Weird. Is it just that area in the world that they think this way, or because that's just not
No,
right.
most people don't
In this
value
day and age.
other people's lives as much as they probably should. Woman of Steel, thank you for the super sticker. Foggy Mom, thank you for the super sticker. Thank you guys very much. No, I don't think so. I think that it's a generational thing. It's just kind of this was this family was an accident waiting to happen again. Like this is we're talking again. This has happened again to this family.
Bizarre.
A person
Yeah.
in the family has just vanished off the face of the
Yeah.
earth again. And by the way, we're not talking like third cousins. This is an aunt and niece. I mean, they're vanished.
Yeah.
11, 12 years within 12 years
It's
of each
just
other.
so ironic, it's that it would be. I don't know. There's something very Candace. There's something with and her mom. Her mom has got so much to do with it. I mean, leaving so late. It's right. I don't know. I want to know the interrogation with the grandma. What did she tell them? What did she say?
I wonder
To
about the kids too.
the kids eventually will find out, but CPS still has their thing that they're doing. I think their court.
Well, just from what I've heard, the kids weren't in very good shape.
Oh,
Uh,
I'm sure they weren't malnourished, just unhealthy.
that's just
Yeah,
what I've heard. I've heard a
me
lot of
too.
different
But
things.
God bless whoever took them on. Thank God somebody has a human heart out there and says these children are so tarnished from these animals. They've
Yeah,
been. Ugh,
it's just really weird that you got daughter and sister for Candace, and then you have daughter and granddaughter. And then the fact is that they know nothing about either one. Um, and then you have, I don't know if you caught my show about that Marcos fella, which is Candace's cousin.
that's weird too.
Well, he had been in trouble for sex trafficking.
Exactly. And then he just so happens to live with
Thank you very much.
little Grammy in the camper. And then didn't he live in the shed too?
Yeah, I think so. I think
It's
so.
Holiday Inn, man. I mean,
It's bad news. They're bad. This is bad. Like
Ben Hill
like I'm
Inn.
saying, Don's the choir boy here, kind of,
Mm,
which is sick to say. I don't mean it that
I
way.
know.
I understand what
Isn't
I
that
mean.
gross? It's so sleazy and gross. I'm sorry.
Oh,
It's just
he's an absolute asshole.
slippery, just gross.
Just an
So,
ass. I mean,
yeah.
the way he talks to people really gets on my nerves. Um, it
I
really
don't like
does.
his
It's just,
eyes. I don't like his eyes, how they bulge out and they're all slippery.
well,
And
that's from
he's
alcohol.
exactly. See, I don't drink.
Me
I
neither.
don't drink, but now I haven't for 26 years because
Good
of
for you.
when I got pregnant. I just never went back. I said, who wants to go to bed spinning, feeling crappy the next day, spending a shitload of money,
Hmm.
and I don't like the feeling. I just don't like that feeling. Because what if I blacked out and I don't remember? When
Yeah.
people, you know, I blacked out. I don't remember. Well, I don't give a shit. You still got to be responsible for what you did while you blacked out. Sorry.
Somebody said, "How low is the threshold when Dawn is the best?" Very, very low. Very, very low. And I say, I say that almost jokingly, but like Dawn has been accused of awful things. And the one thing that he hasn't been accused of is, well, no, that's not true either, because he has been accused of beating on his own kids. He hasn't been convicted for it.
Yeah, he has. I'm sure he has.
That
Look
just,
at
like
wave that stick around on that
it's conjecture.
refrigerator.
Yeah, but there's no actual. Well, I don't have any proof that he did, but I've heard. I'm sure he would deny that, but
Oh God,
uh,
yeah.
he doesn't have a. He does. Let's just say he hasn't been in trouble for it, and those other two have a
But
lot, by the way, and not just a little, a lot.
he might get something. I don't know. They might have something on him when they go back to court. I'm telling you, there's something on that camera because he was very concerned about, they took my camera, Candace's camera, this good camera that he bought her for Christmas or something, or for her birthday. Can't remember. And he said, um, and our smart TV. And so there's obviously things that they can get from
Well,
these
you
things.
know what else is weird was when they said that they took that there's time they took certain time off of their phone. It was from like
Yeah,
2:30,
30 minutes.
something like that. Yeah. They took
Why?
time off their yeah, I don't know. I find that odd. I find the whole thing odd, obviously, but the thing is, um who really knows? Who really
Mhm.
knows?
Yeah.
Um I think that but I think that Candace and Grandma know a lot more than what they're saying,
Well,
and that's
she's afraid. I think she's afraid. Candace, when
what of
she
going to
that,
jail.
remember when she wrote that, um, she tried to get a restraining order on him, or she had him arrested.
Yeah,
Her mother, remember? And she wrote that she was afraid of her life
yeah,
and the life of her children, and even her mother was afraid of him.
yeah.
Well,
I mean, they're
he's
they're
sitting
they
there
all
saying, "I would kill the person that did this to my daughter. I would
well.
kill
He,
that
I mean, yeah,
person."
he
Yeah,
has every right to feel that way.
obviously. But maybe they are like going, he really, really would.
He ain't gonna kill anybody.
But he knows if he kills the grandma now, he would get in trouble for killing her. I don't know. But I have a weird feeling that they're so afraid of him. Remember with the I have 7 alibis and you don't have any?
Yeah, I remember it vividly. Somebody asked, "Can you? What do you mean?" Somebody asked if I would pick turkey or Dawn. Turkey or Dawn to what? To like cook and eat? That's the question. I don't know what's the question there. I wouldn't. Not. I don't know.
I hate when
I
people
would
say
pretty
that
much pick.
turkeys are dumb because I don't think turkeys are dumb. I see them walking across my streets all the time, flocks of them. And I'm like, you guys aren't really dumb, are you?
Yeah, no, I'm telling you that.
But Dawn, dumb as a, oh man, just, oh man.
Yeah, I think he kind of admits to that too.
Yeah.
But I don't really necessarily know uh that I don't know if he's is I think he plays it up a little bit that like, oh, I'm just dumb but
Right. Plays
I
that
don't know how dumb he really is, but like he always says things like I'm really gullible and I'm really I'm really this, I'm a spackling man.
back.
He's very, very proud of that spackling. Said he'd been doing it since he was
He wears it like medals on his clothing.
yeah, you can't fault a man for working, that's for sure. But
Absolutely.
um it's just a bit fitting,
I'm working all the time, 24/7. I'm working all the time. I'm like, really? It
it
seems
seems like
like
he's got
you're
a lot of
on
downtime,
a lot. You're.
yeah. Yeah. Well, that's another thing is like, they live in that dump, but they have nice new cars. There's a reason for that too. The reason is I don't think they have to make payments on that house. I think that it was like
Yeah,
I think it was inherited. Can you
a
imagine
given.
inheriting that?
Yeah.
Um, it's almost like thanks,
Yeah.
but yeah, I don't know. I think I just the biggest
That's a
problem I
high
have.
that's a
Go ahead,
high
go ahead.
payment. That's a high payment for somebody. He's
What?
got to be doing drugs or dealing somehow drugs or something connected with it as well.
I'm
I
a
don't know.
finisher. I make good money and $15 an hour. That's probably a lot in Tennessee too. I don't know. The cost of living in Tennessee is not very high, which is
No, I totally
California's a pain in the ass.
always suck.
he
We do. I
the
live in the capital, so I know it's a political hell. It
uh
is.
oh, you're from the capital?
Yeah. Hmm.
Do you like it?
I love it. I really do. I love Los Angeles for um the energy, the history,
Yeah.
but there is a severe divide here where you really see it. In Sacramento, you see it, but you don't see it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't live too far from there.
Yeah. And like right now, I'm looking at downtown LA and I'm thinking, there's a lot of crap going on down there right now.
There's always a lot of crap going
You
on.
know, always something's going on Figueroa Boulevard. I'm almost positive, like, every.
Do you listen to the Scanners? Is that something you do?
Oh, at one point I had surgery on something, and so I couldn't do a whole lot. So I got on YouTube and I started listening to Smoke and Scan. I love Damon. He's awesome.
I don't even know who that is.
That's,
What does he
oh,
do?
he does scan. He has a scanner, and we do a lot of listening or watching pursuits.
Yeah. Okay. That makes sense.
Some of them are gnarly. Some of them are just
I bet.
crazy. And we're thinking, oh my God, I can't believe the mileage that car gets. And, you know,
That's
and
so funny. Well, thank you for coming up and sharing your thoughts and talking with me.
well, I really do hope that something comes to light this week. They have to pull them in for something. Get one of them for something.
I mean, we always feel like it's the week coming, right?
But you know what? It's got to come soon. It's getting, it's got to come.
I hope so.
Something, something is going, something from FBI or somewhere is coming back and it's going to tie something. I just have a weird feeling.
They're going to have to do something,
Yeah.
but they're going to have something to do that. So they're not going to start the clock unless they have something. And what I mean by start the clock is if they arrest either one of them at any point or any of them,
Mm-hmm.
that literally starts the countdown, meaning you're going to have to your puzzle pieces are going to have to drop fast because you're probably headed for a trial. And so I understand in the Dylan Redwine case, I don't know if you're familiar with that.
Mm-mm.
The boy was missing 9 months. It took 8 years to 8 or 9 years to convict the father.
Oh my gosh.
And it just happened just a few months ago, like 3 or 4, maybe it was
The
over the
fun.
summer. And
Why?
it takes
Why?
a long time
There's
sometimes.
so much of this. That's why they make themselves look so suspicious.
They
It
absolutely
happens to
do.
so many people, and some people it truly it has happened. But these people have like light bulbs just all over their blinking lights, and it's
Sure. Sure. I understand.
it,
I hope that this week brings us some good
it
news.
will. Have a
So
good week.
we got to be positive. Thank you for coming up, and I hope to talk to you
Thanks.
again soon.
Okay. See you later.
Bye bye. What a great guest. Had a lot to say. Very to the point. I like that. Thank you. I hope this week brings some answers, but who knows? Who knows? Could be a long time. I'm telling you, we could be strapped in for a really long time. Yeah, she was great. Fantastic. What are we talking about tonight? We're just talking. We're just talking. Yeah, JPL. That was yeah, he was a piece. It was a piece. There's some people trying to come in. I don't. I don't know. I feel weird about them. If anybody else wants to come up, talk for a second. Got about 10 more minutes, and then I'll. I wish little Summer could enjoy Christmas. I do too. I certainly do. JPL. Okay, if you're backstage, go ahead and show me your face first. I just don't. I don't have a membership yet, but I will. Let's see. And then when I do have the membership, we'll do like these kind of members only chats as well. It's not bad. Yeah, it was very. All right, Joni, you're gonna need to show me your face really fast, and then you can go back off if you want to come up. My face was scary. Yeah. Yeah. Make sure to hit the like button. Time is it? It's almost 2 a.m. My goal is to help me sleep. This maybe will help me sleep. It's like I said, it's been a long week. There's a lot of weird people. All right, one more time. Oh, we certainly could. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Yeah. Well, too bad. Yeah, I mean, I gotta see the face because I mean, I people get people get a little weird. Good morning. How are you? It's good to see you. I'm not camera ready. You're not going to be on camera. You just got to show me your face. That way I know that you're a real person and instead of showing me a wiener. Okay. There you go. That's perfect. Thank you. You can cut your camera off now and I'll let you up. You can turn your camera off now. What? I just saw your face and then you just left. I don't know. I have nightmares, Joshy. No, I'm not calling Doug to wake him up. Telling you that's a thing people do. They flash genitalia. It's not a great thing. You just don't want that happening on your live. Trust me. Not cool. Not cool. I don't know where. Like I was just about to bring somebody up, and then they took off. But that's okay. I don't know what happened. For the love of God, turn your camera off. Yeah, I agree with that. I just don't. I don't trust. I don't trust some people. What if Tyrone tried to come back? I don't think he likes me very much. Okay, there you are. Go ahead and turn your camera off now, and I'll add you. I'm gonna add you. I'm gonna add you. You don't want anybody to see you. Turn your camera. Why she did it again? Like I'm just saying, I'm gonna add you. You showed me your face, and then come on, let's. Running out of time here. I'm running out of time here. I saw you come up. I saw your face. I was going to let you come up. You could turn your camera back off. She did know how to turn her camera off, but I'm just gonna. If she comes back in, I'm just gonna add her. It's just how it's got to be. Because everybody else that's come up is not wanting to show. So come back, come back, come back, come back. I'll put you on. No, you know how. You're doing fine. Just come back on. I'll put you on. Does not turn the camera. Okay, fine. If you want to come up, you're welcome to come up. Okay, there you are. All right.
Can you hear me?
I can, yeah.
Okay.
I don't know what that was. It seemed like a real person. I think it was their finger. No, it was their finger. Shut up. Knock it off. It's like a finger, ear, or a chin. It was one of those extremities. Earlobe. I don't know. I don't know what happened. I'm trying to. I think I'm trying to force something that just doesn't need to happen. Trying to force something that just. Trying to force something. uh, what are you gonna do, Joshua? Do you live in the United States or Canada? I live in the United States. It wasn't a private part, no. It wasn't. So guys, stop. She was just it's my favorite. Josh is silly. It was an ear. I don't know what you guys are doing. Where'd she go? Oh, I kind of feel bad now. So was watching Kansas with Chris and noticed that. Yeah, anyway, I don't know, man. It's, oh, look. Okay, let's just do it this way. So I was watching Candace with Chris and noticed that she singled one boy out to watch. Yeah, was that the oldest one? I think that's the oldest one. Um, right. Yeah, and somebody else said that she was heard saying stuff like "What did you do?" or something. But all the once again, all this stuff is conjecture. I mean, we just don't know if it's true or not. You know, we just don't know if it's true. It's definitely a scenario that could happen. Um, no doubt about that. No doubt about that. Josie's the oldest. I don't know. Guys, thank you for coming on or coming and watching so late. Appreciate you being here. Let's do a roll call on the way out. Thank you for the super chats and super stickers, and it's very kind. Thank you guys so much. I don't know. That's a good question. Let's talk about it next time.